Hey everyone, it's X here, and I wanted to give you my current thoughts in the state of Vendetta right now because I am one of her biggest advocates. I have almost 100 hours on her. She is my second favorite character in Overwatch. Absolutely loved her concept. I think everything for her was I wanted an Italian hero, gladiator type. We really didn't have that. DPS, a fully melee DPS. Like I really like Genji. Genji doesn't scratch the itch because his blade was only for 8 seconds, and then with Venture, which I ended up maining, and I was able to even meet the VA, was my most played DPS for a while, ever since they came out. But then once Vendetta did, Venture doesn't quite scratch the same itch for me. So I love Vendetta's introduction. I think her introduction for lore, I think her design is awesome, and I really love the story right now with her. But basically, I want to give you my thoughts on kind of the balance and kind of like the thoughts on like where do we go with this character. So this character is currently at about a 50% win rate across the board. As you get higher in the ranks, it tends to get a little bit lower and lower, and she also has a very low pick rate. Now for Vendetta, she's a brawl hero. She can dive, but she's more of a brawl hero. She's really good in the matchups with like I'm thinking 66 right off the bat, Lucio, Ryan, Czar, right? I also play 5v5 too, but she's sitting at one of the lowest win rates, especially in that whole flanker class. Because anything that she does, other heroes can just do better. Venture can go in and get picks and get out safer, right? With the get out of jail free card on his burrow. Tracer can just do everything that Ven does, but better. Genji, for the most part, he has less downtime, or well, he has more downtime. Actually, no, he has more downtime, but he also has higher killing capability. Now, this really comes down to her design. I think her design's good. I think the problem is overhead, right? Big problem with Vendetta for a long time is overhead did too much damage, and I think farming overhead is kind of lame. I like Vendetta for the combo aspect, right? Being able to throw a projectile down, and then slice, and then overhead, and then maybe dash, or maybe use your soaring slice at the ground to get another overhead, right? I like her combo capability. She reminds me a lot of old Doom in that sense, but Doom I never really truly liked, and same thing with Venture, like never really was like, but the combo capability on Vendetta, and I really wish they would dive more into that. And I think now, how do you get the community to not hate her? That's a great question. Vendetta's a very low ranked terrorist in the sense that like she's like Sombra, where she gets up and close to your face and you don't like it. A lot of low ranked players don't like it, and it's because we don't really have that feeling in Overwatch. Overwatch has always been a quote unquote hero shooter, meaning guns are always going to be better. Hit scan's always going to be better, right? It's always going to be better, more consistent, right? Lower ranks, you don't have great hit scan heroes, so they don't have perfect tracking. So when a melee hero gets introduced and they don't need perfect tracking, Vendetta, I like with Vendetta, they didn't go the route of Ryan and Brig, which I thought they would, where you actually have to land the overhead to do the majority of damage. Right? I think aiming, right, is still important, but we never had a hero like that. We had Venture, and a lot of people still don't like Venture, and it is really like, I don't want to say a skill ceiling or skill issue, but it is, this hero, it got banned in mid-ranks a lot on PC for a while. And I play on console, so let me tell you a little story about console. Console, when Vendetta came out, console got an aim assist change, buffing aim assist across the board by 7%. Now, this made hit scan really easy to play, and really great across the board. Like, if you were in Diamond, you could have perfect tracking, right? Even when Vendetta was at her brokenness, she still only had like a 51 or 52% win rate. And now, thinking last season, season 1, Ashe, before they actually nerfed it this past season by 3%, which is good. Still 4% better than it was before. But Ashe was sitting at a 57% win rate in GM. With like a 23% pick rate, while Vendetta had one of the lowest pick rates with like a 47% win rate. So I never found like getting banned was like crazy on Vendetta. But what was crazy was the countering. Like, it's just, even if you're playing Ven perfectly, you take cover and you use, like, you're just gonna, like, no matter what, hit scan will always be better. Even without aim assist, right? Aim assist helps a lot in the sense that, like, if you have perfect tracking, that's what kind of balances it. But Vendetta's just like a weird case of like a character doesn't quite fit into the game, which I think she does, right? And I want Overwatch to be more melee. I want Overwatch to be more projectile. I think that's what separates Overwatch from other FPS games, was the fact that I can use a big-ass sword, right? Or a sonic equalizer, or a hammer, or a mace, or send water spears, right? Instead of just pointing and clicking. I think hitscan can be fun, but it's not nearly as fun as the melee or projectile heroes, right? If I only was playing hit scan, I probably wouldn't play this game. And I still don't understand how a lot of people only play hit scan, but I'm not. That's getting into like the pred scan thing. Um, so like, where do we take this character from here? Like, I don't know. It's a weird. Like, I would say buff her a little. I would say shift her power. It shouldn't just be about overheads. I think overhead should be nerfed. It should do less damage. Make her initial slices do a little bit more damage. And honestly, like, I think it's just a case of like with time it'll get better and people get more used to fighting her. But I don't think she's badly designed. Like, I think she's a great design, the melee hero, in the sense that like she like you would think for a melee hero their biggest weakness would be getting close to you, right? With Ryan, he has pin, but that's it. Or with Briggs, she has shield bash, and that's it, right? You have to kind of. Well, with Ven, she has these two movement abilities where she's allowed to get up close to your face, right? So I think with time, people will come more terms with like her design. I'm not saying she's perfectly designed, but I am saying she is better designed than like a character like Iari. Iari's inclusion I absolutely dislike, and I think she's everything wrong support, coming from someone who used to play support a lot and still has those hours on support. But that's getting aside the fact, and you know. But Vendetta, like, where do we, like, I don't know, anything that she does, any other hero, any other dive hero can do better. I can argue even Onron does better. Onron can get in, get a pick, and get out easier, right? With Ven, it's a little bit more slower. And I thought the most fun was with Ven was when Onslaught, or like when the perk Onslaught was on Minor, and you got the movement speed. I always thought that was most fun. Now it's on Major, which I always take the lifesteal because lifesteal's just better. But, like, I always found, like, she's just such a fun and unique hero. And I really, really want her to see. I'm not asking her for to be broken again. I'm just asking that she gets a little bit something, because, like when you come down to the core of Overwatch, like, I think hit scan will always just be better. Especially in the 5v5 format, I feel like hit scan just has like range is just so much better. Like, why take all the risks to get up close at someone's face, kill them, and possibly die and get a trade when you can just sit in the back and two-tap someone on Ashe? Or one shot, you know. And it's also like map design wise, like I think like I have fun with Vendetta on Flashpoint, push, and control the most, I would say. I like maps like Havana and Circuit are obviously going to be bad for Ven, but and one thing I suggested, which actually is getting added to an extent, is a parry perk. So what I found a lot would happen is I would play Ven, I would kill their soldier, kill their hit scan a couple of times, and then they would swap casts. And then I would have to play a lot more strategic and a lot more like cooldown baity, like less fun. And I always found that like with Cass's CC, he just stuns you, and it feels like it's only 1 second, but it feels like you can't do anything for 5 years, because like the biggest thing is movement, right? She's a movement character at her core, right? With her two movement abilities plus her primary doing a little bit of movement. So, and I always thought it was really stupid, like especially if I timed it right. When I blocked his flashbang, it wouldn't block. It would still hinder me. So I really want them to do this in the future. Now, I'm not asking for it overnight, and I know it'd be a while, but for them to introduce a parry perk on Vendetta where it acts sort of like Genji's deflect, to where it sends it back to them, but it would be for the first second or 2 seconds of her block, and her block would have to be full for it. Now, it wouldn't be like an insane, because I would want it to be introduced to kind of mitigate with counters, I feel like, in the sense that like Doom got his eat perk and Ball got the shield perk. So it's not like they're not insanely like they help a lot, but they're not like super like, you know. So that would be my suggestion for them. I also, again, the other suggestion would be to do less damage on overhead, make the first initial slashes, and make you have to use your other your projectile a little bit more. So maybe that builds into a combo. Because her combo ability is just super fun, I feel like. But yeah, again, I'm like her biggest advocate. I know a lot of people are not a fan of Vendetta or a fan of her design, or just like, or you know, Doom fanboys just got mad that she beat him in a fight, you know, whatever. But I really want to see this character viable, right? And I've been playing a lot of ranked this season. I hit M2, peak of M2 on console, and it's just been such an uphill battle in the sense that like anything I do on Vendetta, I can just do easier on Emray or Cass. Like anything, or Tracer. Like, it's just, I really want to see this character be viable. But when the character doesn't get played at all during OWCS, you know there's probably something wrong. And also, like, and like with Vendetta, like Zara, like I feel like oh, just bubbling or getting bubbled by Zara is also kind of lame. But you know, I honestly don't know what they're gonna do with this character. If they're just gonna leave her where she's at, or if they're gonna give it a little bit buffs. It seems like they're not. I really wish that they wouldn't have released her in such a broken state where now everyone hates her. I'm not, and I'm also don't. I'm not asking like for her to be less meta as Soj, where she's just meta forever. But I think she's fun. I think like she's not unfair or broken. I think it's just like you got to position better. If you want to counter her, you got to position better, and hit your shots, or just like manage cooldowns is a big thing too. But because you can keep her at bay with distance. Like distance, like I know she has 2 movement abilities, but she also needs a get out. She doesn't have a get out of jail free card. Like Doomfist has his ult, Venture has Burrow, Onron has another like flaming thing. Tracer has recall. Genji really doesn't, but if you do get the pick, you do get a reset on your dash. Reaper has Wraith. I'm probably forgetting someone else in the flanker class, but like Vendetta really doesn't have that. She has dash, but dash if you like screw it up, in the sense like you run into a wall, you're doomed, right? Or you dash into a wall. So yeah, that's my thoughts as like a Vendetta player. I really hope that she does get a little bit of a buff, but I think everyone's kind of realizing that like hit scan is always going to be better and it's going to be broken, and if we don't see some changes, hit scan will still like dominate across. Once you get to higher ranks, when people have better tracking, she's just a case of like, I don't know. I really want to see this game succeed, and Vendetta is a great character, and she also opens the door to possibilities of more melee DPS in the future, or just more melee characters in general. Like I would love to see a guy with a LeBeau staff, or nunchucks would be really fun. Like imagine like a character in the flanker class that used nunchucks as a melee, right? And I maybe had like some sort of way to extend it, or I don't know. Like imagine a nunchuck character, or maybe a character that has a big like I don't know, any sort of melee ability. Like I can't think of ones off the top of my head, but you get the idea, right? Or imagine like a boxing kind of hero that we know we have that kind of with Doom, but like an actual like boxer, or where you have to use like your left and your right, or you know, just or like more martial artists. Honestly, like I don't know, like this, she opens the door to the future of a lot of different kind of weapons, you know. So or like maybe like a traditional sword and shield character, but we'll see what happens in the future. But yeah, that was my thoughts. If you agree with it, you don't have to agree, you don't have to disagree. I get some people are gonna be like, oh well, you're on console and you're masters, almost GM, you have no say. But when a character has such a low win rate, you kind of have to either it's A, her design, or their design, or B, their balance. So if you enjoyed watching the video, please like, subscribe. Feel free to follow my Twitch. I'm streaming most of, if not every day. And yeah, overall, but thank you guys so much for watching. Join my Discord. I do pugs on Saturdays. It's really fun, pug customs. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, peace out. And also, this was completely unscripted. I just kind of talked out my whim. All right, bye-bye.